Hi, you guys. So, this is what music means to me, and I'm going to talk about Miley Cyrus's new song, Flowers, which debuted on January 13th, which, if you don't know, has its own significance than it just being a Friday. But I'll get into that a little later. If you don't know anything in regards to, I'd say, the whole Miley Cyrus situation in regards to this song, like what the background of it all is, don't worry. I'm going to talk about this song generally at first, and then I will get into all the deep rootedness later. So, when it comes to, I would say, the message of this song and why I think a lot of people are just loving it in general, it's a self-love anthem. A lot of us, I think, as we grow older, we learn, hey, it's okay to spend time by yourself. It's okay to, I wouldn't say rely on yourself, but the person you need to love most first is yourself. Then start loving everyone else after that. Because if you can be your true, authentic self and, know that you can do a lot of these things on your own. You don't really need somebody to do them for you. Um, that is something where I think you'll be more comfortable and, just almost love your own company. And when you see the music video, and I will link it in the description as well if you haven't, but just throughout this whole, I would say, piece, of course there's a director, of course there's, stuff going on behind the scenes, obviously, but you can definitely tell when it comes to like the dancing or with some of like the moves that maybe she tried to do herself. It's her just being her. It's being fun, being authentic, and that's what people really enjoy and that's what people love to see. And if you can't be you and if you're really hiding that, it shows and people can see like they're hiding something. They're not really being them. And it sticks out like a sore thumb. In addition, this song just also has a great beat to it that, if you're anything like me, you've just been dancing around to, you've been singing along with it, it's been on repeat. And, after a couple weeks, maybe it's like, oh, now I'll listen to something else. Maybe. But as for, I would say, the deep rooted analysis, what is this whole song, like what's going on with it? As I mentioned, January 13th, this song was released. Everyone could start listening to it. Well, it's also her ex-husband's birthday. Now, of course, like when it comes to music releases, it's normally on a Friday, but her album doesn't come out till March, till like later March. And so it kind of makes you not wonder, but it's like, like, what is this, So it definitely is about her relationship, though, when it comes to her and her ex-husband, Liam Hemsworth. And, when we listen to the first verse, when we hear those lyrics, in particular, it goes, we were good, we were gold, kind of dream that can't be sold. We were right till we weren't, built a home and watched it burn. Now, the first verse in and of itself is just I would almost say timeline or just thoughts when it comes to their relationship as a whole. They met on the set of the last song, which came out, God, I feel like so many years ago. I don't even want to talk about it. But, they dated after, doing the last song, broke up, got back together, married, and then, now they're separated. And so with that, it's basically just, talking about like, we were good, and people see this as well, because that kind of dream that can't be sold. A lot of fans, including myself, are like, oh my God, this is the dream couple. We've seen them since, we grew up, watched them on the screen. We, we thought this is a perfect couple. And now, you kind of start to realize that maybe that's not it. Like, not everything is just so picture perfect. And in reference to built a home and watched it burn, that's in regards to the home that they shared and that burned in the fire. I think it's the Woolsey fires, if I'm pronouncing that right. That was few years ago. And so that's essentially what the first verse is talking about. And then when we get into the chorus, there's that definite like connection with, the lines, I can buy myself flowers, I can hold my own hand, to Bruno Mars's song, When I Was Your Man, where he goes, I should have bought you flowers, I should have held your hand. And we can definitely see that comparison there, where, in this case, with When I Was Your Man, I should have bought you flowers, I should have held your hand. No, I don't really need that. Like, thanks, but no thanks, And then just as the song kind of goes, going into the second verse and everything, no remorse, no regret. I forgive every word you said. With this song, I personally don't think it is like, I'm bashing you, like, I thought you were terrible. I do truly think, when it comes to a relationship like this, some relationships can grow together. Some just don't. Some fall apart. And, maybe when they were together with doing the last song, they broke up, but then they got back together. Maybe during that stage of getting back together, it's still like almost trying to find yourself. Like, I always feel like we're never done growing. And if you start to realize like your goals, not necessarily your personality, but just like your knowledge, everything around you, your experiences kind of shape you in what you're doing. And if those start to change you for the better, then yeah, you just grow apart. And it's something where, if you are feeling, let's say, dimmed, or where you can't fully be yourself or express yourself in the best way, it's like, I don't regret our time together. And with everything that was done, everything that was said, of course you can definitely feel hurt. But after a while, you do have to just let it go, because if it just keeps constantly consume you, there's no way to like move on from it and keep going. And that's what I really feel like, this particular song is. It's like of course, like I said, self-love, but also like, almost freedom. Like, it's a piece to kind of say like goodbye to that part where, I don't need to feel bad, or, this is kind of how I was feeling, but now I'm feeling a little bit better about it, because I've forgiven you and I have forgiven myself. Depending on the situation, depending on what's going on. But I really feel, there are definitely a lot of layers to this song. There's a lot of things people just, connect to. And that's why people like it. And feel free, those are just my thoughts. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.